Hi beautiful people, you are welcome once again to my channel. If this is your first time, please do well to like, share and subscribe. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how I was able to achieve this beautiful boo vintage gown. If this is what you learn to know how to make, just stay tuned as we start the tutorial. So now in this tutorial, I used a 2.5 yards, 2.5 trousers of a vintage material. But if you want yours to drop very well at the sleeve area, you can go ahead and use 3 trousers of the fabric. So now I decided to fold my fabric into 4, and I placed it right on the table, making sure that the ends of the clothes are well aligned together. After doing that, I decided to measure the length of my gown. When taking notes, please, when taking the measurement for the length of this dress is it's an off shoulder, so make sure to leave at least 4 inches or 5 inches at the upper parts, just like this as you're seeing it. Place your tape, leaving 4 inches or 5 inches before measuring what your length is. And after measuring what your length is, do well to add extra 2 inches for seam allowance. So sorry, this chalk I was using wasn't really visible enough, and that's because of the fabric, because I already tried out different chalks and like different colors of chalks, and it was still not as visible as I wanted. So now I decided to measure out my sleeve opening. Sorry, I'm still on the length of the dress. I never bothered to measure from my center back to where my sleeve was going to end. I just went ahead to measure my sleeve opening, which I used 13 inches. After that, I came down by 2 inches. You can come down by 2 or 3 inches. Then you measure what is remaining right on the bust and take it straight down to the hem of the dress. After doing that, the next thing was to cut it out. Before cutting out, I decided to give it a shoulder slant. The neckline is a straight one, so all you just need to do is create what you need to do is just to measure 1 inch for your shoulder slant, and then you slant it right from the upper part of the dress. The essence of the shoulder slant is to make the dress sit perfectly on your shoulders. So now we've succeeded in cutting out the front and the back part of the dress. So now the next thing to do is to take your bias tape. Go ahead and tape it in such a way that the bias, the black bias will be the one to be showing on the right side of the dress. Do you understand? If you have to turn a dress with a bias, the bias tape is meant to be inside of the dress, but at this point we are going to put it outside. Do the same thing for the sleeve side, for both the front and the back. You turn it right there, then you go to the sleeve area, you turn it also with the bias. So now this was the result after turning it on my sewing machine. I did for the upper part of the dress and also for the sleeve area. The next thing to do is make sure you take the measurement of your round shoulder on your client. Whatever the round shoulder is, you divide it by 4 and you take the measurements right after folding the dress into 2. So now I divided my round shoulder into 4 and then I measured. Please do not bother to notch because we already turned it out with a bias. So the best thing to do for you to know where the point is to use your chalk to locate where the point is. So now after locating, you go ahead to sew on those 2 sides. Just give it a very tiny stitch on the 2 sides. After doing that, you now go ahead to the sleeve area. From that curve, you sew it straight down to the hem of the dress. You repeat the same thing for the 2 sides. Now this was the outcome after I was done doing that. When I started this tutorial, I told you if you wanted your sleeve to drop more, make sure that you use more material. But this was what I was working with. This was what my client brought to me. It's a very simple dress. It doesn't take you time. It doesn't take your time. So now in the picture, you can see that the waist is snatched. As I've always said in most of my videos, I've shown you how to create that snatched waist effect. But I decided to show it right here for those that haven't watched my videos, for my first time viewers. So now to create the snatched waist, go ahead and measure from the upper part of the dress. Measure your half length. Locate what your half length is. Then divide your waist circumference by 4. Whatever it gives you, make sure you locate that point. This is the first side. You turn it over to the other side and locate it also. I'm sorry I'm working with a chalk that is not so visible, but I just hope you understand all my explanations. This is me doing the same thing on the second side of the dress. I already went ahead to turn my rope. So after turning the rope, you attach it, go straight to your sewing machine, and then you attach the first rope to the first side and also the second rope to the second side. And that is the end of the tutorial. Thank you so much guys for watching. For my returning subscribers, I'm grateful. Thank you. Bye.